Hi guys, this is Vo. So I just heard that Pacesetter, the George Perez fanzine or magazine, the long-running George Perez fanzine, been over 20 years, have come to an end, and it's no thanks to DC Comics. Now we're not, well, Tony's not completely sure it's DC Comics, but if you look at the evidence here, number 11, pace setter, which is the topic of the conversation of the copyright, is shows Teen Titans, and Lulu doesn't have really preview pages, so you're only seeing the cover and perhaps the back cover. I'm not sure about that because the website is long gone, or they no longer they took it offline. So I believe only the cover is shown, which means that the only complaints that the owner of this would probably be DC Comics. So we think DC Comics is the person that filed the complaint, and it may not even be DC Comics. It may be just a bunch of just stupid lawyers out there just doing the job or whatever, which I think is unfair and not what copyright was really meant to do. I think by the letter of the law, they may have some grounds if if the person is profiting off of these fancy. But believe me, I do not think Tony is getting rich off of these fancy. In fact, I think he's actually losing money printing these because. The costs of printing, I think, is over 50% of the cover price, and whatever little money he made is actually just goes right back into the fanzine anyway. So I don't think he's getting rich off of this. I mean, believe me, I don't believe he's getting rich. And and so anyway, so I'm gonna read you the letter that Tony wrote. Wow, this is not the way I wanted to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Pacesetter, the George Perez Magazine, 3-issue titled George Perez Newsletter, and 16-issue titled Pacesetter. Pacesetter is no more. I received an email from my printer, Lulu, that Pacesetter number 11, published in 2012. Now, that's actually when Lulu published it. The actual publication was from 2010 on Diamond Comics, so Diamond Previews had listed this. Anyway, so it may have violated their copyright policy, and in the same email, without reaching out to me about the issues in question, they terminated my account, canceling all issues of Pacesetter. So out of 19 issue, one issue was the problem, and so Lulu decided to just cancel everything that Tony had under his account. Wow. Even though it's just one little problem, Lulu could have just maybe perhaps removed that issue or put it on a pause until this issue is resolved. But they decided to just flat out cancel Tony's account, which meant that all the issues are now unavailable to purchase. Anyway, so sorry, I'm getting a little. This is kind of heartbreaking. Sorry. All right, so in the email there was no details on what may have been the violation, and they never gave me the chance to fix the problem. After several weeks of hearing nothing from them, they finally replied that I have to fill out a form to my case to the legal department. Mind you that they still haven't told me what may have been the violation. I've decided to just retire Pacesetter. My gut feeling is that it was DC Comics that may have made the complaint since they are under new management. I'm not sure though. I still remember back in 2000 when I brought my crazy idea to George, and to my surprise, he was flattered and gave me his blessing. After I got the green light from George, I reached out to Marvel and DC Comics for what my plans were for the magazine, and they gave me the okay to publish my magazine. It's very sad to see it end this way. I wanted to take time to thank George for all of his amazing work that he has done in his great career. I still feel the same when I open up a book that George has done when I first discovered his work at the age of 10 as I do now at the age of 55. I also want to thank Marcus Mebbis for his the real unsung hero of Pacesetter. Without him, it would not have lasted more than one issue, let alone 19. Vo Nguyen for his George Perez website has been a major influence for my magazine update for all the latest news, info, and checklist material. Ilke Hinser for being the biggest Perez fan out there. He has always amazed me of how we can find the rarest Perez item. Eric Sellers for being another big Perez fan. He actually took charge of a couple issues of Pacesetter. I want to thank everyone who's contributed to Pacesetter over the years. Without you, there would never have been a Pacesetter, the George Perez Magazine. Like our motto has always been by Perez fan, for Perez fan. Lastly, I want to thank everyone who supported Pacesetter with their hard-earned money. Pacesetter was not cheap, and I always wished I could have had a lower cover price. It's been a great 20 years. Time flies when you're having fun. I guess good things come to an end. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see this longtime fanzine go away, and yeah, I really don't know what to say. I really think it is a corporate decision on DC's part to have stop the publication, and maybe it's not their intention to destroy Tony's hard work, but that's the result. Yeah, so let's take a look at issue number 11. This is a Teen Titan issue. So it was originally published in December 2010. $12.95 was the cover price because I think more than half was taken by Diamond distributor. So now, according to Lulu's description here, Lulu the website doesn't list the item anymore because they've taken it offline. But basically, it's the 10th anniversary of the Pacesetter and also the 30th anniversary of the New Teen Titans, and include a lot of contributors such as Ron Mars, who's actually a writer or established writer, Joe Prado, Marv Wolfman, Romeo Tanghel. If you like the Teen Titans, you'll recognize Marv Wolfman and Romeo Tanghel. Dan Jurgens. So yeah, Phil Jimenez. So many people in the Teen Titans world, and of course, profit. So all the profit actually didn't even go to Tony. The profit went to Wounded Warriors Project, which is a charity. So again, I think if you argue the case that you can't profit off of somebody's intellectual property, which by the letter of the law, DC Comics does own the Teen Titans and the characters, but there's no profit here. All the profit actually went to a charity. So yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking. I really don't know what to say. So yeah, so if here's some proof that Diamond previews Diamond or previews listed in their December issue. So the pre-order originally listed. So this is basically it still mentioned profit from the issue goes to Wounded Warrior charity, and the original SKU and price here. I really let's take a look at actually more Pacesetter stuff here. So here's all the issues that was published throughout the years. So yeah, it started in March 2001, and then by March 2003 it had become Pacesetter, and so here's all the great covers throughout the years. And the last issue was number 16, which was published September 2020. All right. So yeah, what else? So what is there to say, really? I think it's. I think the copyright thing is kind of wrongfully used here. And if you watch YouTube, there's a lot of companies out there that's copyright strike channels because they don't like what they're saying about their companies or anything like that, and so they're basically destroying people's livelihood on YouTube just for speaking out or saying the wrong things or using what they deem is their copyright material, which if you can tell what fair use is, and I I think the problem is that they just the copyright thing just gives so much power to these owner, even though if you look at it, it's fair use. Is the and I don't know. It just really rubs me the wrong way that DC Comics is doing this, especially to their fans, which admittedly, I haven't really bought so many comics over the years, but I still buy DC Comics, and I've always supported DC Comics. And then what though, seeing this, I think it's time to just stop, DC altogether. And I think. And I mean that. It kind of pains me, even though you think about it. There's really no artists or writers that I really follow on DC anymore because they aren't really hiring anybody that I really love. So yeah, I mean, why not just give up DC Comics altogether? I think it's time. I think this is it. So goodbye DC Comics. Yeah, no thanks. Anyway, so yeah, kind of hard to see Pacesetter go. All right, thanks for listening.